There's something absolutely crucial that we need to talk about. What I really want to know is why PUBG Mobile is getting it so wrong. All right, this is what we're going to be discussing in this video. This is something that's actually killing the game. Now, there's a big difference between killing the game and a dead game. It's far from being a dead game, and it's almost laughable. I mean, it's pretty much a meme at this point. Anytime anything bad happens, people say, "Oh, you know, it's a dead game." Say that to the millions of people that log in daily who are playing this game. There's a difference between a dead game and just overall frustration, but that frustration can lead to people leaving. It's a big problem. So what we're going to be discussing in this video, you guys, is the issue with matchmaking wait time, all right, which has to do with a lot of the events, and why New State. Okay, New State is a game. I mean, there's some people who will often comment on New State, but overall, it's not the most popular game. I think it had a lot of potential. It had a really rough drop when it first launched, when it went global. I've never seen more hype for a game than when the game was an alpha. And even though New State is 10 times, if not, 100 times more polished than it was in alpha, the global just missed. It just missed. I mean, you can get a good gauge not only by the number of daily active players, daily active users, but you can just look at like their main YouTube channel, the New State official YouTube channel, and you can look at the number of views that their videos get. And it's a game that still has people playing it, but it's not like at the forefront. You know what I mean? However, they made two decisions, and it's something that we've been asking for in the community. And not just our little, I mean, we're this big. We're strong, but we're this big. But, I mean, we're talking on a global scale. It doesn't matter if you're from India. Doesn't matter if you're from the United States. If you're from the UK, Australia. There's two things people have been begging for. And this is where New State did it right. Their update that they just dropped, they announced how they're going to be having certain maps on rotation. Okay? Map rotation is something that we have been calling for the longest. It makes no sense why Tencent truly, why they don't want to implement it. I would love to it's been a while since I've done one. I would love to get an interview with a Tencent employee and ask them this question. Is it going to drop? Update 3.0 is going to be massive. We don't know what's in it yet, but it will be the biggest update that we've had in probably 2 years. Why won't they put maps on a rotation? What is it that they're so afraid of? If the majority of players are playing a wrangle, then if they can't, they can leave that in the rotation, but make it to where not all 7 maps are available at the exact same time. We just queued up like a couple hours ago. We tried to get into a Sonok match. And people that are in the community are like, oh, haha, yeah, like good luck getting into that match. But you guys have to understand, there's new players downloading this game every single day. New players, people that have never played the game. Do you know how detrimental it is to a game where somebody downloads the game, never played PUBG Mobile, they don't know me, they don't know you, they know nothing about the community, they see an ad, they download the game, and let's say, they download all the maps and they go, okay, well, I don't know anybody in the game. Let me queue up. I want to play solos. Let's play this snow map. Let's queue up this snow map in solos. 10 minutes go by and they're like, what the heck is going on? Okay, well, let me try this jungle map. Let's try the jungle map. Of course, Sonok. They don't even know the names yet. And then they can't get into a Sonok match. Then they're wondering, what the hell is going on? And then before you know it, you have someone who's never going to download or who's never going to log in and play the game again. People who are, seasoned vets like ourselves, yeah, we know the times, the times, the days that you can play certain maps, what maps are going to have certain queue times, the best time to play a certain map on a given day, this and that. But a new player's not. and queuing up and waiting 10 minutes, say or let's just say a duo Sonic match or a solo Karrigan match. These game modes, just saying it because I know the game so well, sounds ridiculous because you can't get into. You and I both know we can't get into them, but new players don't. The way you fix that, okay? The way you fix that is you put the maps on frickin' rotation. You funnel the players, okay? You got this many players, and you funnel them to specific maps. New State did it to where they're going to funnel players to certain maps down to certain times. That way, if you want a bunch of people, okay, to play Vikendi, Erangel, and say like Karrigan, or take Erangel out, Miramar, Karrigan, and Sonic. From 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., those are the only maps that are going to be available. And that's going to be the peak play time for all the players. What's going to happen? All of these players are going to play maps that not only they've never had a chance to even play before, but they've never even bothered trying to play them because they know they can't get a match. But if that's all that's available and it's only a certain amount of time, these maps will be so freaking sweaty. You'll have so many players, less bots, right? Real players, and it's something that they could schedule ahead of time, where it's something that you would be able to look forward to. Hey, look, Saturday and Sunday from noon to 10 p.m., Vikendi, Karrigan, and Noosa are going to be the maps. It would be so lit. And the fact that New State did that, even though I don't play the game, I give credit where credit is due. That is an absolute W. All right? Not only putting maps on rotation, but specific times. And the most interesting thing about all of it is Tencent has this technology. They know how to do it. How do I know that? Because they do it in Undawn. They have certain events, sometimes once a week, sometimes on a weekend. They'll have 4 or 5 events that will drop in one day at very specific times. They could do the same thing with PUBG Mobile, and I think it would be amazing. And again, if they want to make it to where Erangel is always available, because that's the default map, fine. But instead of having all 7 maps available, they'll have Erangel and then rotate out some of the other ones. You could have 3 or 4 maps. It would be amazing if they did that. The other thing, that's a massive W, that New State did, is they've now added, I think it's a Quinta, which is one of their main maps. I think it's kind of like a Sonic-esque, I think. But they've now added night mode on that map. If you've never played it, we're talking actual night mode where you cannot see anything unless you have night vision goggles. It's one of the coolest things that those of us who got to experience have ever experienced in the game. We've been asking for it for a very, very, very long time. Now that Vikendi's hot, why haven't they brought back that moonlight mode for Vikendi? That's where it was kind of like you're playing, well, under the moonlight. You don't need night vision goggles, but it's for the duration of the entire map. But there used to be night mode on Erangel. It's been years. 2 or 3? No, more than 2 years. 3, maybe 4 years since they've last had night mode. It's absolutely fire. And the fact that New State brought not brought it back, that they introduced night mode is amazing. And I wish so much, again, for those of you that have never played it, I hope and I pray that there will be a day where they drop night mode. I mean, any single map with that night mode theme, it starts out like kind of like dusk, like it's still light out, okay? It's like 5 p.m. And then as the map progresses, like after the very first circle, that's when the sun sets, pitch black, and then maybe by the 5th, I'd say that by the 4th or 5th circle, the sun starts to come up. It's truly, it's just you're very immersed in the game. It's a very, very unique experience. And I hope that they can kind of rip one of these pages out of the New State playbook, even though it was already in PUBG and now New State's doing it. They're kind of... we need PUBG to steal the book back, okay? New State ripped the book out of PUBG's hands. We need... we need PUBG to rip the book out of New State's hands, where it belongs, and bring back not only night mode, but even more importantly than night mode, though, all jokes aside, is to bring... put these maps on rotation. The matchmake wait time for some of these game modes is not only atrocious, it's for the most part, or for a lot of them, it's impossible to get a match. You cannot get a Vikendi solo or a Sonox solo. It's physically impossible. And I haven't even talked about FPP. Okay? We haven't even brought up FPP. This is just TPP.